I am here at San Diego Comic-Con in beautiful San Diego with Mr. Kerry O'Quinn. Mr. Kerry O'Quinn, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome.
At Comic-Con, which is the 50th anniversary of this amazing gathering. It started in 1970 with a little over 100 people here now, and this year and recently it gathers about 250,000 fans, not just from San Diego and not just from California, but from everywhere. And we're here at the Lucasfilm Star Wars exhibit.
Awesomeness. Exactly. And you've got a lot of stuff going on. You've done, like, of course, magazines like Starlog and Fangoria and Cinemagic and all that. You've got a film that's coming out, I believe, in December sometime this winter. Can you talk a little bit about that and what that's about and who's involved in that?
Absolutely. This is a very exciting feature documentary called From the Bridge. That was the title of my opening column. As the publisher of Starlog, I wrote the opening column for each issue of Starlog magazine for about 20 years, starting in 1976, a year before Star Wars happened. And the documentary is called From the Bridge. It includes more than 30 interviews with an amazing roster of famous people talking about the growth of fandom over the last 40 years and the role that my magazines and my productions have had in kind of bringing fans out of the closet and making them the huge worldwide audience that they are today. From the Bridge is actually a celebration of fandom, and it includes interviews. Thank goodness, before he died, we got a wonderful interview with Stan Lee, one of the main people in the world of Comic-Con. We have interviews with Bryan Singer, Tom DeSanto, Joe Dante, even people like Gene Simmons from Kiss. George Takei is the host of the show, and my dear friend Nichelle Nichols is in it. As I say, we've got more than 30 amazing interviews in From the Bridge. Fans are going to love this because it celebrates what is unique and what is special about being a fan. And as the poster for the movie says, it celebrates the geek in all of us.
Awesome, awesome. That's amazing, wise words and awesomeness. You actually had the opportunity, I believe, in the late 80s to introduce two titans of science fiction. Could you go a little bit briefly into that? And I believe that's going to be possibly featured in the film as well, right?
Absolutely. I produced a lot of science fiction and fan conventions, and I produced the 20th anniversary celebration of Star Trek at the Disneyland Hotel in 1986, and several of my friends from Lucasfilm came down to see the convention, and they were amazed. They said, "My goodness, Kerry, there's thousands of people here." And I said, "Duh, guess what? This happens every weekend somewhere. Fan conventions are a huge thing." Right. And they said, "Well, we've never had a Star Wars fan convention or celebration of any kind." And they said, "But next year, 1987, is the 10th anniversary of Star Wars." And I said, "I will produce a huge event with Creation Conventions, and the only thing is I have to have George Lucas there." And they said, "No, George isn't going to do that. He doesn't do fan conventions." And I said, "Tell him that I'm going to produce it and that I want him there. It's got to be a salute to him and what he has given to all of us." 2 days later, they called me back and they said, "I don't believe it, but George said yes." So George Lucas was on stage, and as a surprise, I invited my dear friend Gene Roddenberry to be there that night, and I brought Gene out on stage, and I introduced Gene Roddenberry to George Lucas for the one and only time those two giants met. It was a very exciting night here in LA, not here, but up in LA, and all kinds of amazing people were also on stage. C-3PO and R2-D2, Darth Vader was there. I even got James Earl Jones to do the voice. Mark Hamill, Billy D. Williams, all kinds of folks were there. It was quite an amazing event.
That is, wow, that is amazing. Very, very amazing. For people to that are into science fiction and fantasy, do you have any words of wisdom that you like to wrap up to kind of the message from science fiction and fandom that means to you? And just kind of a Cliff Notes version.
Well, the unique thing about being a fan is that you are a unique individual. Fans never kind of follow the pack. They don't do what everybody else does. They do what they want to do as an individual who is not a part of the herd. And that's what fandom has given to the rest of the world, is this idea of being the unique human being that you can make yourself. And that's what I want to say. Fans have come out of the closet big time in the last 40 years. They're out now, and they are changing the culture by making all human beings proud to be the unique individual that they make themselves into. That's wonderful. Live long and prosper.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Kerry, it's a pleasure talking with you, sir. This is Owen with SciFiction.com coming to you from San Diego Comic-Con, signing off. If you enjoy this video and would like to contribute, go to patreon.com/scifiction, where we will be giving away a Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter Lego set when we reach 50 patrons. So make sure you're subscribed so you can join in the discussion as we continue to cover all things sci-fi and beyond. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.